Did you know that Sarah Hyland plays Molly in the Disney Annie?
In the musical?
In the musical, but not the one with Carol Burnett. They redid it.
The
Maybe
second time, not the third time.
Exactly. I think it was 1999 or something. And I watched it with Kenny's niece, and I was like, this isn't the original Annie, so it's not that good, but we can watch it. And I put it on, and then I was like, holy shit, I think that's Sarah Hyland. She's really young. She's a little baby. Yeah. Now she's engaged to the guy from The Bachelor.
Them. They're cool.
And he's cool. Wells Adams.
He was a bachelor,
no,
or was
he was
on The Bachelorette?
He was on The Bachelorette. And then they did
Bachelor in Paradise, right?
Yeah, but he was the bartender. He wasn't like a guy on there.
That's a good gig.
I know, and he was the best. He's
the best is
we
should be saving this for the episode.
But
oh, okay.
Oh, we are.
You can just clip this in. But she shot her shot on Twitter, which is amazing. She's at Wells Adams, I would something really cute, and he answered, and now they're getting married.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what Halsey and who the hell?
I think Halsey does that with everybody, though, wasn't it?
It was Evan Peters, yes.
She did it with Evan Peters, but there was somebody else that she did it with. I forget who.
How about Chris Evans this weekend?
Oh my
Chris
God.
Evans
Chris Evans is my favorite Marvel Chris.
Yeah.
He's such
the best
a wholesome
Chris in
human
general.
being. He really is.
He's the number one Chris.
Yeah, now that I have your attention.
Yeah, I did. And then I saw Jamie Lee Curtis said, "You have my attention." I was like, oh.
Love that. Love Jamie Lee.
I did not.
Did you see
that.
his brother posted
Yeah.
the next day? He's like, I wasn't online all day yesterday. What happened?
Yeah, what I missed. Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah, make sure that gets in there.
Yeah, I mean, if it's anybody, I'm glad it's Chris Evans.
I am more than happy to talk about Chris Evans' penis for the entire
I didn't
episode.
get to see it.
Yeah, he pulled it down really quick.
Well, they also, everybody, because he's such a nice person, everybody just flooded the trending topic of Chris Evans with all of the nice things that he has ever done instead. So you had to scroll and scroll and scroll to even find it. It was really nice.
That's how
It
you
was the
know
most
you're a good
wholesome,
person.
Exactly. It was the most wholesome penis meme of all time, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but
I think he's my favorite Chris too.
oh my God, the best Chris.
What's it? Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pine.
And then there's one more.
Oh, Chris Pratt. Yes,
Yep.
of course.
He doesn't count.
Yeah, he
He's a
doesn't.
garbage
No,
human.
but he's counted in the Chris.
Is he a garbage human?
He's not my.
Tell me more.
He's my bottom.
Well, first of all, he left Anna Faris.
yeah.
What
for,
a mistake.
for Schwarzenegger,
Whoa.
right?
Yeah.
The Schwarzenegger
Biggest
girl?
mistake.
I was gutted by that because they seemed like the goofiest. I mean, Anna Faris in the scary movies. It's just my heart and my soul.
She's amazing.
She's so
She
amazing.
is actually so amazing. I
So
totally
that's number
agree.
one.
That is number one.
No, but I think he'd be at my bottom regardless.
Yeah.
He'd be my
He
my
never
number
survives
4
my
Chris.
marry, fuck, kill for the Marvel Chris's.
Yeah. I think that my Chris's are Chris Pines, Chris Hemsworth.
Is first? It's Pine,
Well, it's
by the
Mary
way.
Fuck
There's,
Kill.
not,
Whatever.
there's only one of him.
Well, whatever. Not after his dick pic. There's
Only
not.
one pine.
It's not. Oh, Chris Pine had a dick pic?
Wait, no, I'm mixing up my Chris's.
Yeah, I
what the
know.
fuck?
What are you
Chris
doing?
Evans.
Stop it.
Is that his name?
Yes.
I can't even think now. There's too many names.
Oh my God.
Wait, no, Chris Evans is my number 1. Then Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
Then Chris Pines, and then Chris
Pine.
Pine.
Yes.
Multiple.
No, Chris Pratt's higher on the list for me. I still like him, but I think at least Chris Pratt, when he's heavier, would drink with you. He does not drink anymore. He doesn't do any of that shit. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Maybe he was not even more fun. Maybe he was just a kinder person back then.
Maybe.
But who knows?
Yeah.
Still number 4. Okay.
Our
moving
guest's
on.
name is not Chris.
We have
Who is
Chris.
he?
We have Chris this week. Our guest is back. We're going to give you hints of who our guest may be. At the time, it was only myself on the podcast.
Yeah, a dark time.
We talked about pie. Boy, did we.
I should have brought pumpkin pie.
Do you recognize that whisper? I bet you do.
This isn't going to be the beginning.
Back.
Yeah, Eric's back. Wait, we should start with that stuff.
I will.
Okay, cool. All right, because I was like, the whisper, it doesn't matter. He's been talking this whole
It was
time.
like
Yeah.
15 straight minutes talking about Chris Evans' penis. And
Yeah.
then, oh, by the way, who is this?
Yeah.
Very
It's
important
Erik.
topics.
I talked to Erik about pushing daisies almost about this time last year.
Yeah, I actually checked my calendar. It was like a week and a year ago.
Love
Wow.
that.
So it's our 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, it's been a fun year.
Yeah.
How's everybody's year been?
Amazing.
Yeah. It's one for the books.
I mean, this a fun fact. 2020 is the only year in our lifetimes that has been 8 years long.
Is that just like a joke?
Apparently not.
I was like
I'm
trying
gonna
to
show
think it
myself
through.
out now.
I was like trying to think it through. I was like, oh my God, what do you mean? That wasn't meant to be bitchy.
Halloween scare.
I was like 8 years. It has been 8 years. Fuck.
100.
It's been 84 years.
It's been 84 years. It really has. That's like my life.
Well, I'm excited to be here with you, Erik.
I'm excited to be here with you as well. Thank you for having me back.
I love kicking it off with penis talk.
Yeah.
That really gets me. I was
doesn't?
tired before this episode, and now I'm electrified.
Yeah, penis wakes everybody up.
Electrify the spirit.
Get ready to ignite. The band has got the power
To
to
rock you tonight.
Okay, we won't do the whole thing.
We were Aston cheerleaders. Today we are talking about Modern Family Season 2, Episode 6, Halloween. Love it. Great pick.
It was. This is honestly my favorite episode of Modern Family too. It's not only one of my favorite Halloween specials, but full disclosure as well, I haven't watched the show probably in about 6 years or so. So there could be a better Halloween special, but this was my favorite when I watched it because it's so funny. The writing is great, but even the sight gags are all great. The only person I feel bad for is Gloria because they're just making fun of her accent the whole time.
The whole time. The whole time. Even like the ending, which like we'll get into, but I'm just like, oh my God, if I was her, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like, this is not funny. Like, I hate nothing more than like when people just keep like attacking you for like one thing.
Yeah.
And like, it's like a group of people, like our family is known for that. You do one thing wrong and they just like won't let you forget it. And
yeah.
it's just brutal.
Get some new material, Kellys.
Yeah, losers.
See, my thing about the episode, I loved it. It was the best. And I agree, like, I watched maybe the first 6 seasons of Modern Family and I loved it, but I hear that it does get kind of repetitive maybe a little bit. It's always good. Modern Family couldn't be bad. It's always good. But the anxiety that I was feeling was for Mitchell. Oh my God. Like, I was having anxiety. Like, when he was in the bathroom and the suit goes in the water, I was like, no. It's like my worst nightmare.
I think with every Modern Family episode, Cam and Mitchell's like any situation is my favorite. Like
Yeah.
they are so funny together and it's always just like so ridiculous, but like anxiety, like this same thing gave me anxiety. Like when his shirt's on the freaking sink and the guy like looks at it and he could have easily, like if he wasn't in that crouched up position on the toilet, like the guy would have known someone was in there.
And he makes the worst decisions too. Like, why wouldn't he just say, oh, listen, I'm wearing a costume because my daughter has this thing after work. Let me just get changed real quick. That's all he had to do. But then I guess there would be, funny part of the episode.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So walk us through this episode because there's a bunch of different, we kind of got into Mitchell's already, but different storylines going on. So
Yes,
walk
we
us
have,
through it.
Then I'll start with Mitchell. So he is at a new company and he overhears these two guys talking about their costumes they're going to wear to work. So he wants to kind of be part of the company and he decides to show up in costume, but realizes they're the only two tools and douche that actually show up in a costume. And then at the same time, Jay and Gloria keeps getting made fun of by her son Manny and her husband Jay because she has an accent. She is from Colombia originally, and she just says things incorrectly, which also all the things that they use as examples, it's frustrating because it's like just sayings which don't translate at all. So of course she's not going to get them right.
And things that people without an accent fuck up.
Yeah, like
dog eat dog.
voluptuous.
Yeah. I was like, all right, you're getting a little nitpicky here.
My favorite is Claire and Phil, who are obsessed with Halloween. And Claire's trying to create this house of horrors for the trick-or-treaters to go through. And basically her entire family is ruining it with their bummer attitudes. And then Phil has been freaking out all day because he finds out that his next door neighbor is getting a divorce. And he wants to know what it was and how he can stop his wife from ever getting sick of him the way that guy's wife got sick of him.
Yep.
And I think that one of the reasons this episode is one of my favorite of Modern Family is because I'm so much like Claire when it comes to Halloween.
Yep.
And I think it's really nice to be able to see myself on TV as a pretty skinny blonde woman from California. So
I totally agree though. Like you do feel for her and she does have her ultimate like freak out at the end where she's like, I've given up so much shit.
I've had that freak out at my friends too. If I throw a party and nobody comes up in costume and I'm the only one who's like dressed up, I'm like, you guys are all assholes.
Yeah.
I've had that freak out and I've yelled at people.
I mean,
As you should.
It's justified. I'm on your side.
I'm ready to yell this year too.
Yeah.
Because who knows what's going to happen.
Oh my God. And I get like really passionate over this topic because like I get it. But then like at the same time, I'm like, but like adults go trick-or-treating once a week at the supermarket. So like, like people are touching things left and right. Like why don't take it from the kids? But
right
I
now,
get it.
I have the plan where I'm just going to sit on my porch and just kind of like with a slingshot, just slingshot candy at the kids.
Like I was actually trying to think of like ways that they could be done, and it's just like so hard because the overall like goal of to stopping the spread is like human contact. So it's like you could put stuff in like a baggie, but then it would probably still freak people out if you handed them the baggie. Like it's just like you can't win. And I'm the same way. Like I love trick-or-treaters. Like I'm like I might just like sit outside and hope that some families just break the law and they come for candy. Just not break the law, but like
what night of the week is Halloween?
Saturday.
Brutal.
It's a Saturday.
Brutal.
It's a full moon. It's a blue moon. It's like this was supposed to be the most epic Halloween, and now it's just the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Fuck. And the leap year made us skip a Friday Halloween too, because that would have been cool. I hate when leap years make you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like skip the like party. Like when St. Patrick's Day lands on like a Saturday, people are like,
yeah. I know. It sucks.
Man, we love Halloween too. We're obsessed. That's
Yeah.
why we were glad you picked this
That's
one.
because you have good taste.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm actually a big like October through December holiday girl.
Yeah.
So like even like Thanksgiving. So with everything going on in the world, they're talking about like how they highly recommend doing Zoom Thanksgivings with your families and not doing dinner. And I'm like, but like mashed potatoes. Like if I have them at my house, it's going to be like Bob Evans microwave. Like I can't whip it like my mom does. Okay. Like this is some shit.
I don't know if people are going to do that though, because I mean, it's like everybody's been separated from their family for so long, and then the one holiday that's supposed to like force families to be together.
Yeah. I mean, I
Although
already
maybe
lost
some people
Easter
do.
and I freaking ride for Easter ham. So I'm like, bitch, do not take away my turkey
I ride for
and
Easter
mash.
as well. I love it.
I love Easter. It's so weird. Like, I don't know why, but like maybe because of like spring, like it's like I'm a number one fall girl. And then winter, I'm just like, I hate everything. It's like, don't talk to me. It's cold. I don't want to leave my house. And then spring comes and it's like, this angel comes out from inside me and they're like, happy Easter. Who wants ham?
January, February, and March are just devastating months.
Oh, God. March is the worst.
Yeah, there's nothing to look forward to in any of those months.
Actually, this year, March was the first month
That was
in our
8
entire
years.
lives. That was 8 years long.
I always feel
Wait, seriously?
I always feel like January is like the 8-year.
Oh, for sure.
The 8-year month. Like January, it's like, oh my God, it's January 17th again.
Truly. And then February is like, click.
Yep.
Love a 28th
Unless
day
that
month.
29th day is on there, then it's like, oh,
I don't
it's
know,
dragging. February.
All right, let's get back to this episode. I want to start at the very beginning when Claire and Phil are pulling that, like, chopping the hand up. Just, like, such a strong cold open. So fucking funny. And it's, like, exactly what I want to be as a parent.
Yeah, definitely.
And then speaking of Scary Movie with Anna Faris, I love that bit. It's the Scary Movie 3 with the ring girls coming out of the TV, but she does the chopping the hand, the nosebleed. I don't know if you guys...
Oh, yeah.
So she's like, you
pretends to
fell
seize.
chopping the hand off. Yeah.
That's the best part. She's like, Sydney, I'm whooping ass.
Yeah. She's like, the TV's leaking.
She is the best part of all of those movies.
She should be like ugh.
Her
For president.
like I would say once a week I think about Scary Movie 3 just because of her. It's the scene where she for some reason is like a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, I know exactly what you're
gonna say.
the kid throws the crayons at the door and she goes, "Who the fuck threw that?"
Yeah.
Same. Anytime anyone throws something.
Yeah.
That's a great movie. That's my favorite of the three.
You just killed me
four.
with that.
Yeah.
Sydney, the TV's leaking.
Yeah.
Dude, that
I just
is
like
so
in the
funny.
second one though when she's trying to hide from her and then all of a sudden she comes around the corner and it's a skeleton that's chasing her and she's like, "Cindy, this is Bones. Would you run from Callista Flockhart?"
I love those two together. Are they supposed to be the same characters in all three?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they kill her in every movie.
Yeah.
What's her name? Why am I blank? Brenda.
Brenda.
Oh my God. So good.
Dude, I Scary Movie 3 is actually my favorite out of all of them.
The PG-13 one. Interesting. Bold choice.
I don't know. I just like love it. I love Scary Movie 3.
Well, Scream's like my favorite, so 3 and 1 are very close, but 3 is definitely my favorite.
It's good.
When the sheriff's hat just keeps growing every time they go back to this, like it's insane. It's so funny.
After the second one, I can't keep track of them anymore. They all just kind of meld into the same movie.
But anyway, back to Modern Family. Phil Dunphy is a treasure.
I love him.
Is he not just like the
He's
best?
so funny. I think he's like one of the only ones to actually win an Emmy like multiple times for playing that character too.
Yeah.
I could just be making that up as well.
No, we're gonna run with it. That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
They used to win everything.
Yeah.
You couldn't watch an award show without it being Modern Family, Modern Family. I didn't mind. I
It's
thought
so
it was
good.
deserving.
Me too. Me too. I think it's a really good show.
It's really well written. I think they like set up jokes perfectly every single time. And again, like with the sight gags, when he's trying to get that skeleton to move and it is only being activated by him every time he walks past it. Nobody else activates it. But he
That's
walks
him.
past it every time and it jumps up.
and I
at him.
laughed every time it happened.
Oh my God. I wrote down the quote of like the very first time it happens is when he's talking to the neighbor and he's like, "Hey, Jerry, if you need anything, let me know. I'm your rock." And then it pops up and he just
screams
dies
and
on the
falls down.
ground.
I'm your rock.
I like it when he says, when Jerry's like, "Oh, I guess she just didn't find me delightful anymore." And he goes, "Oh, that's coconuts. You're super delightful." It's just the way he says that's coconuts.
Everything he says is so funny. And then like when he's trying to be like sexy and like loving with her on the ladder and they just fall backwards.
He's like hunchback over her. It's so not sexy at all. Except it like is. When I'm watching this, I'm like, I would bang Phil Dunphy. Boy, would I. But he's like actually like really sad when he's talking to Jer. Is that
Jerry.
Jerry.
Jer. We're on
Jer.
a nickname basis. He's like, when someone dies, you want to know how they die. Tell me how they die. You want to know it's a freak accident. It's not going to happen to you. And it's like, tell me it was cheating. Tell me it was whatever. Like, don't tell me you just grew apart. Like, he's really devastated by this the whole time. He's such a keeper.
I love that he was like, "Tell me it's cheating or drinking or physical abuse." And he's like, "I'm a monogamous social drinker and Claire only sleep hits me."
Claire is just such a sad. Like, I would hope that I was more of a Claire who's kind of this like badass, funny, like not as emotional as Phil, but I'm Phil. I'm so emotional.
That's okay.
I think we all want to be Phil.
Yeah.
Do we?
I think
I think
so.
we all have a little Phil in us.
The world would be better if it was all Phils.
It probably would.
That is true.
I do love the whole bit between Claire and Haley with like the multiple costumes. So like the first time Haley comes down, she's the older daughter for those who don't watch Modern Family but are listening to this episode anyway. And she comes down in like a slutty like cat costume and Claire's like, "The only person in that costume scaring is me." And then she comes down again in like a sexy like slutty nurse costume and she said, "Are you trying to get candy or a Japanese businessman?"
That is funny.
She keeps like making her go upstairs and change, and it's so funny because like I feel like maybe my mom wouldn't be that savage, but my mom would. If I came downstairs and if it's like that, like no doubt I'm getting jabs. Like, what the fuck are you wearing? Like, you're not wearing that. So it's just like I think that's why I love Modern Family so much. Is like you really can like relate to it so much with like your families, like. The craziness, probably not every episode, but like at least with our family, we're just not right. So like it's just very relatable in some ways.
No, my family is very strange. I officiated my stepbrother's wedding, and we always kind of joke in our family that we need like spreadsheets and charts to kind of keep track of who everybody is. And everyone in my family makes that joke. And so during the actual ceremony, while I was officiating, I turned to his wife and I said, actually, it's not a joke. This is your final exam. So throughout the entire ceremony, I broke in with questions about our family to try and trip her up.
Oh
That's
my
incredible.
It probably added so much stress, but at the end, she thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
That
is
is stressing
so
me out.
good. I
Like,
know.
On my wedding day.
One of the things, he's my stepbrother, and then his father remarried to a woman, and she had 2 daughters, I believe. And then they were all close, and then I think they got a divorce again, and his father got remarried to somebody else. So one of the questions was, how many sisters does Sean have? He's my stepbrother, and which I'll get to in a second. And she just looks at me, she's like, can I just name all of them? So she names all of his sisters. And I was
my
like, I didn't
God.
actually even know that one. So you get that point.
Holy
And the other thing
shit.
is I have 2 brothers named Sean as well. Because there's my brother, who is my biological brother, named Sean. And then I have a stepbrother named Sean.
Oh,
And my
that's
family would always, like,
confusing.
if my dad was trying to call out to, like, me, he would go through all of my siblings' names first, including both Sean's, before he finally got to my name.
My parents do the exact same thing. I'm always like, Tina, Dawn, Kathleen, blah, blah, blah. I even get Jimmy, Kathleen. Like, I'm like, you're looking right at me. How can I be Jimmy? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
No, that's such a parent thing now.
Yeah. They're just like, who is it?
Yeah.
I
They're
can't
like,
believe
I
you
can't
made her
remember
rattle
your
off
name.
all the names.
Yeah. I didn't even think she was going to. I thought she was going to be
Mid-ceremony,
like,
that's hilarious.
6.
Was
I'd
it
be
a
like, "Yeah."
super formal ceremony or no? Because
No,
you
they
were-
had
yeah.
like, he's into football, and his favorite team is the Washington football team, which I just learned that's their new name.
Yeah.
I love that they were just like, we're just the football team now.
I do too.
That's
I'm like, good
funny.
for you.
Yeah, the football team.
But they had like foam fingers as their thing after they were married. They all
Nice.
had like
Aw,
foam fingers that
cute.
everybody stood up and waved.
Sweet.
And then there was a guy in a kilt playing bagpipes the whole time because he's Scottish background. So
Cool.
yeah,
Love
it was
that.
nice. It was fun.
Yeah. I love that too.
Okay, back to Modern Family.
Yeah.
But I did love that story. Let's just keep going on rants. I love all these rants. I was like hanging on you everywhere. I'm like, what'd you make her do? So then I actually like back to the Cam and Mitchell. I loved I couldn't wait. Even though I'd seen this episode before, I couldn't remember what Cam's deal was. So he's like obviously
Oh, I
had some
forgot about
traumatic experience when he was younger with Halloween. And he always is being the super dramatic one. So just
Always.
watching him be like, oh, do you? And he's like,
Oh, this is
I-
the worst Halloween for you.
yeah,
Like,
like, and I was like, I can't wait for the reveal. And the reveal is so perfect, and
It's
we'll get
so
to it.
good.
yeah,
It's like-
it is so good. Like, we could probably just hop into it now. Every time Haley lifts the plate, the lid up, and he's continuing the story, I was like out loud laughing, like hysterically. Like, it is so typical Cam, and it is so funny. And then you get to the moral of the story, and you're just like, I can't. I absolutely
He's just
can't.
crying that he
Yeah.
peed his pants, and these kids just walked into this house, and they're
He was
like,
the
"This is
Hunchback of
weird."
Notre Dame for Halloween.
So let's stay on that scene because by the end of the episode, the whole family is trying. Like Erik said, they're at the Dumfies. I guess they're the only Dumfies, right? So they're at the Dumfies and they're trying to make this like big scary thing happen, and every single person has a role to play. And I just love this scene because in general, like if we were trying to do this, there's like choreography to it, right? But it's such chaos that there is even more choreography to fucking it up. So like I'm just thinking about them like doing it, and she's like, no, it's smoke, lightning. Like it's just so funny. I was watching it and just laughing because it's like if my parents were making me do this on cue and like be in a cage and be like, like, I'm like,
I know. Alex
it's
is
so
like
funny.
Alex is like sitting in a dog cage doing her homework, just like randomly making noise from time to time.
Just reading a book and
Yeah.
just
They're
maybe they
still-
skip over it once.
They're so
Yeah, they
young enough.
do. They really do. Because I was the
Yeah,
first time
they
I'm
do.
like, Alex, we're like the second time she's there, and I'm like, where'd she come from?
Those kids are young enough to be trick or treating. I don't know, like Luke and Manny at least should be trick or treating.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are they? But they were so funny.
Yeah.
They're
I-
so
I-
cute.
I don't know why, but anytime Manny goes, she's not crazy, she's my mother, and he goes, I'm your mother now. It kills me. I have no idea why, but it's so funny.
I think that's what I loved this episode, and it is classic. But I think if my ideal Modern Family would have like more of the kids talking because I love Luke. I just think he's so funny, which is why, again, when they get older, them as little kids are so cute and funny, and Luke is just so dumb. It's awesome. But apparently in real life, he's like really sharp.
Yeah, he's in Mensa. He was in Mensa since he was like 4 years old.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because he was like a genius child actor. He was such a baby. Manny's good too, though. But I love those kids. They're so funny.
I know. It is the best when they're like kids. Like you love to see them like get older, but it's the best when they're like the kids.
Do you like Lily?
This Lily was still the early one because they recast her, I think, after this season to like kind of age her up.
Yeah.
She just like ages 3 years in one season. But I remember, this is off topic because it's in a later episode, but she's talking to Mitchell, or no, she's talking to Mitchell, and Cam's freaking out about something, and she just the new Lily just looks at Mitchell and she goes, "Ooh, she needs to calm down." He's like, "Girl," it's just the way she talks to her dads when she is like aged up is so funny.
Yeah. She reminds me of like a younger Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
Like this the sass, and I love her.
And she's so old now.
Yeah.
How old is she now?
Like probably like 13 or 14.
Oh,
Right?
really?
Maybe. Yeah.
Because like I actually decided to like stalk her on Instagram when they did their like they've been like, so I follow Sarah Hyland and they were like posting nonstop when they wrapped up the series, and she was tagged in something and I was like, that cannot be Lily.
Yeah,
and she's so old, and I'm like, dude, that's insane. But I guess, I mean, she's with it. She grew up with the entire cast.
Yeah,
so.
I guess if she joined in like the 3rd season and there was 11 seasons.
Yeah.
Like younger Lily, where she can like talk, is my favorite too. She's so funny. Like exactly what you said. Like her little one-liners are so good.
I would say 5 to 13, you're gonna shoot up every single year. That's like with the Stranger Things kids. It's like, are they gonna do a time jump because those kids look like they're adults now?
Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna do? It's hard with kids. You gotta like plan for that. You can't just pretend they didn't grow 5 inches and now they can speak like full words. But I like it better when they're kids. Like they're still funny.
So as always, I love Mitchell and Cam's like story of this episode was my favorite because I think I just always favorite them. But there's 2 quotes, but like for what's going on with their whole situation that made me laugh so hard. So the one is when Mitchell's in his car, he pulls up to work, he sees that only those 2 guys are in costume, so he's like sliding down in his seat and he like immediately calls Cam and he's like, I don't know what to do, like no one's wearing costumes, whatever. And he's like, did you get the dry cleaning, like did you ever take the dry cleaning out of your back seat? And he's like, oh no, like I do have that. And he goes, yesterday's lazy cures today's crazy. And I'm like, I just love him.
Wait, what's the I don't even remember what Mitch says, but Cam answers the phone and goes, who is this?
It's when he's like, I'm trapped in the bathroom and all I'm wearing is a Spider-Man suit. And he's like, hot, who is this?
Yeah, who is this?
I was cracking up.
And that's the other quote that I love is like when he comes out of the bathroom and he's like panicking over everything being wet. And Cam's like, you know who could really help you right now? Spider-Man. And then Mitchell's just looking at himself in the mirror and he goes, he's here.
That's so bad.
And then you just see him going down the pipe.
It just looks completely ridiculous.
Well, even when he's on the toilet like Spider-Man, like looks like Spider-Man, like this is just writes itself. It's so stupid.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Like the one joke, I didn't write these full jokes down, but I love when Jay's like, I didn't even know who Snoop Dogg was. I thought he was a dog detective or something like that. Like, that's so funny. I've never heard that joke before.
Yeah.
It's literally right in your face.
I know.
That's
you know what?
good.
I never have either.
Oh my God. And then the other, speaking of Jay, she's like, we're going to be gargle. You're going to be a gargle and I'm going to be blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I know less now than before I asked. Because I was like, yeah, I don't know what I got gargoyle, but I still don't know what was she? I don't even know.
Bruja, Spanish word for witch.
Is that what that is? I should have Googled it.
When she's saying she's taking Manny and his friend to the dropout, he's like, dropout? You mean Eddie, that Eddie kid? Yeah, he's a moron. And Eddie's just sitting in the back seat the whole time. They're like, no, she means drop off.
I love those two. Gloria, just in the whole series, like in theory, you would think her like accent or whatever would generate like cheap laughs, but I think it's so funny. Like, like the way she acts and the like emphasis she puts on things, it's incredible. I think she's great.
And I loved her passive aggressive American accent too.
Oh my God,
good.
so good.
You know, what is so weird since we're talking about Halloween. And I knew this in the back of my head. So this year is when I became a Schitt's Creek fan. I was so late to the game, but earlier this year, like pre-quarantine, and I'm obsessed with The Nightmare Before Christmas. I know every word to every song. And I was listening to one of Sally's songs at work the other day, and I'm like, is this fucking Catherine O'Hara? But I already knew it. Like, it was in my brain, and I was just, but because I had been watching so much Schitt's Creek, and I was like, oh my God.
Wait, does she do the voice?
She's Sally.
Yeah.
She seems
I didn't know that.
Dude. Yeah. I mean, I had that
I didn't know
moment.
that.
She's also the mother from Home Alone. You
I did know that.
right?
I did know
That's
that.
the best. Yeah, she's so good.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know you love the what's it
Oh
called?
my God. I'll sing an entire song. If
You like love that movie?
I love that movie, and the soundtrack is like,
I had no idea you love that
It's a
movie.
great movie.
fuck.
I
It's
I used to
awesome.
watch that like basically from a couple weeks before Halloween all the way through Christmas. That was like,
Because it's both. It's
yeah,
blended.
exactly.
You know, it's fun.
Dude, I'll do it for you in full theatrical. Like, if we're ever
Do
in the
it.
car.
Do it right now.
No.
No, do it right now. Let's pull. I'm pulling a Kathleen
Wait,
on
what song?
Kathleen. Sing Sally's song.
Oh, that's like, I wouldn't do that. You would want me to do like a theatrical one.
do This Is Halloween, but do every single different voice
in
from Halloween
this town,
Town.
don't we love it now? Everybody's waiting for the next surprise.
she has no
Skeleton
problem.
Jack, get you in the back and scream like a banshee, make you jump out of your skin. This is Halloween. Everybody scream! Won't you
Ooh.
please make way for a very special guy?
All right, now
That's
to the
good.
town meeting.
Wow.
I love the town meeting song too. That
See,
one's so fucking
that's
good.
what you should have start the episode.
I love.
That was good.
Yeah, my favorite is Lock, Shock, and Barrel. What do they do?
Oh, yeah.
Kidnap the
And
Santa
she
Claus.
also plays the witch, Catherine O'Hara.
Plays
The little witch girl from the trio. I'm not sure which one she is. Maybe Shock.
like I'm better with the soundtrack. I'm not off book, really.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. I really
I didn't
You
know
should have
that.
anticipated this was going to happen tonight.
Every Halloween, I almost get a Lock, Shock, and Barrel tattoo, and I won't.
Why? Just do it.
Because it's insane. That's so like involved. That'd be a huge tattoo. You can't just. It's 3 little characters. Have you ever seen it? We should watch it together.
no, I've seen it.
Oh, okay. Kidnap the Santa Claus is like savage. They're like just talking about killing Santa Claus, and it's
no,
so good.
I think like it freaked me out when I was younger when like
Yeah.
the boogeyman kidnapped Santa Claus. It like really just scares a child.
But they only call him Sandy Claus, too.
Yeah.
No one in Halloween Town actually calls him Santa Claus.
Halloween
just
Town, I
Sandy.
love that.
I
too.
always loved when I was a little kid, like irrelevant scenes. Like I loved the trees that were the different holidays. Like just like
Oh my god, it was so good.
I
love
know it's just like so stupid.
Yeah.
Like that was like I love
You're
that.
a holiday
Like, I'm like,
girl.
dude. I love I mean,
And since I am dead, I can take off my head and recite Shakespearean quotation. Okay,
wow,
we're done.
That was good.
I did a little bit of a
What
lot.
is this episode about?
Modern Family.
They're both Disney properties. It's fine. We're on topic.
That's good. Halloween stuff.
God, it's just hard not to like stray when you talk about this topic.
This is good though.
I know.
This is a very Halloweeny episode.
That's the other reason I wanted to pick it too, because I'm very nitpicky about Halloween episodes, like Halloween specials, quote unquote. It actually has to be about Halloween, because there's a lot of shows that they'll just put like a scary episode on during Halloween, and it has nothing to do with Halloween.
Yeah, we just talked about that everyone calls the Boy Meets World episode a Halloween episode, but it's not.
Yeah,
This came out in
wasn't it like
February.
in what was it?
Came out in February.
And I think because was it the year after Scream came out? Because that came out in like December. So
Yeah, that's a crazy decision, but
What?
the best movie of all time.
putting it on out in December.
Yeah.
Yeah, they knew there wasn't going to be any competition.
It's associated with Halloween, but it's not Halloween, so it's fine. I guess that makes sense. It's just another scary movie.
yeah.
And it takes place, I think, in like spring or summer
Yeah.
they're in California, though. It's probably like just January. And did you guys see that Nev Campbell's coming back for the 5th one, too?
Yes.
Oh, we did.
It's very exciting.
God, I love the Scream movies. My brother came on a few weeks ago, and have you ever watched the MTV Scream series?
Yes, I watched the first 2 seasons.
Stop there. Stop
Yeah.
exactly there. I didn't even watch the third. It's just VH1 picked it up, and it's not even the same. It's not canon. It's not anything.
Even the first 2 I hate watched. I was like, there was like a couple parts when I'm like, oh, this could get interesting, and then it doesn't.
I loved it.
I did. I loved season 1. I watched it in like 2 days after her brother came on. I haven't watched season 2 yet.
I'm a hoe for Scream. Anything Scream. I started What Lies in the Shadows. Have you seen?
Oh my God.
It's so good.
So funny.
Okay, Julie, you will like this. It's on Hulu. What Lies in the Shadows. It's basically
What
just
We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, What We Do in the Shadows. I've been calling it What Lies in the Shadows.
Oh.
Literally in
Now
text.
you're thinking What Lies Beneath with Michelle Pfeiffer.
What We Do in the Shadows is on Hulu. Oh, it's funny. It's just vampire show. They're just hysterical.
The movie's funny, but the show is so funny.
They do it so well. I'm only 4 episodes deep now, but I'm like,
God.
I'm savoring it now because it's Halloweeny, and I'm like, this is giving me. Especially today was such a cool day, and I had my window open.
yeah.
It was like in a hoodie, and I was watching
I'm
it.
wearing
and I'm like,
jeans.
fuck.
I was
know.
excited
Oh
today
my
to
God.
put jeans on.
That's what I said to Kathleen. I'm like, I'm so like cozy right now. I'm loving it. I took the dog for a walk today in like shorts. Like when I woke up this morning, I put on a hoodie and shorts, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to put leggings on. Like it's cold today.
I was working outside. I like just on my deck, and I was like, oh, it's a little too cold. I'm gonna go inside.
It does go 0 to 100 like that.
It's
like
the best though.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I freaking hate the heat. Like August is the worst time of my life. I'm like, it's so hot, it's so humid.
Yeah.
Get me out of this.
Yeah, this is the perfect time.
It is. It's the best.
It's gonna get freezing real quick though.
I know.
We were like talking about how we wish we could record outside with like a bonfire.
Oh,
Holy
that'd be
shit! And you can hear
that'd be
the
so
crackles.
atmospheric with the little crackling.
Yeah. We have to look into that.
We'll just put a fire right here. We'll do, and then we'll tell scary stories for one.
Ooh. And talk about Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh.
Wait, question.
Go.
I used to listen to lore all the time. Do you listen to podcasts?
Yeah.
I need a good spooky podcast, but I used to listen to like My Favorite Murderer. And then I used to listen to lore. But then it got to lore, I was like, I love some episodes and I don't care for some. So I'm like, I'm investing a lot of time for not liking some of these. Do you have a spooky podcast?
I don't think I do. There's one, it's a fiction podcast. It's called The Bridge. It's a little spooky. It's more weird because it's about this transatlantic bridge that runs across the Atlantic Ocean from America to Europe. And it's just about this person in the middle of one of the watchtowers on the bridge, just kind of like broadcasting to whoever's driving on the bridge. And it's like really kind of eerie, but it's strange. It's more like kind of like weird. Not as weird as the Night Vale stuff, if you've ever heard of that, where that's just comedy weird.
I was listening to one with Tessa Thompson called The Left Right Game in the summer, like mid-quarantine, and I really loved it, and then I just fell off. But it was like a fictional, it's like this guy gets in an accident, and he used to date this girl, and he gets in this accident, and he gets an email from the girl that he hasn't seen in a long time, who is Tessa Thompson, and like recordings of her with these like paranormal like hunters almost, and they're playing the left right game, meaning like you get in your car in this certain place in Arizona and you just like do this like left right game, and like scary things happen, and like a lot of them like die. It was really creepy, but I don't know why I stopped. I gotta listen, but that was good. If you want to
Check that one out.
Yeah, I love spooky podcasts. They really just get me going. We should do this. Is a spooky episode.
Let's make this one into
This is a
spooky one.
spooky episode.
I specifically didn't choose a spooky one just because the last time I was here, all I was talking about was dead bodies and pie. So I figured I'd lighten it up.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when I think about people love Hocus Pocus so much, I think because it is like them trick or treating. There's pumpkins everywhere,
Hocus
and it is
Pocus
on Halloween.
Is the perfect Halloween movie.
It,
Oh my
it
God.
just really
love
is.
it. Love it.
It
love
never
it.
gets old.
I already
not
watched
once.
it once.
You
It's
did.
even
I already
better
watched
than
it. It's on
Halloween.
Disney Plus. So now I have like unlimited access to it because it's on Disney Plus. Like
Wow.
I used to have to wait until Freeform would play it, which I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They play it like 15 times in October.
Yeah.
But now that it's on Disney Plus, I'm like, I can watch it whenever I want. Like sometimes they put it on at like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I guess you guys don't know what a bedtime is because I'm not staying
Sucks
up.
with commercials too,
Yeah.
because usually it's only like an hour and 20 minutes. But
God.
God, I love
She's
Halloween.
like, Max, thank you for that marvelous introduction. God, it's so good.
Oh my God.
Dude, God, we gotta wrap
glorious
this up.
morning.
We're just gonna keep talking about everything.
I
else
love
in
it.
the
This
world.
is good. This is what I want wanted for this. Like there's not much to. There's only a 20-minute Modern Family episode.
Yeah,
What are you
exactly.
gonna do?
So moral of the story of the episode, it's a happy ending. It works out, the house. And also Claire and Phil's costumes are bomb. I would just like to say that. They
So
look
bomb.
so good.
Yeah.
I love a good, like when we were kids, our neighbor down the street used to decorate their house like all out. And it was like the house that we had to go to.
For a while, the Google Street View of my house was my Halloween decorations. And my house is like spooky looking to begin with. And it's also haunted. And so
Okay.
no.
We need to talk
that
about
being
that.
my Google Street View image, I loved it. There were like little ghosts out front of my house. There was my
Yeah.
scarecrows, corn on the little pillars in front. It was fantastic, but they changed
I love
it.
the corn.
But now I'm there.
Yeah.
What kind of-
Oh, you're in the picture?
Yeah, I saw the little
That's
Google
amazing.
thing and I was pissed off because I couldn't run and do something weird in the front yard because I was just so surprised to see it.
Wait. Don't ask the question. Let's wrap it up.
I want to know about the haunted
I know.
house.
Well, he's not going anywhere when we wrap it up. He's not going to run out the door.
Don't run.
I gotta go. Thanks.
Fine.
Oh, that was another episode.
That was
Kathleen's
another
feeling
episode.
bitchy
I
because I
wanna
made
know
her
about the
wrap it up.
ghosts.
Thank you, Eric, for
Thanks,
joining
Eric.
us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'm glad I was on this one.
Hopefully next time it won't be the apocalypse again.
I know. Oh,
I know.
God.
I'm already excited for you to come back. I
You
hope
just
there's
want
some more
to
dick
join our
pics.
podcast?
Sure, why not?
Be our third
Yeah,
mic.
well, I'm in.
Matt's out. You're in. Sorry,
Bye,
Matt.
producer Matt. You've been replaced. Now, how do I turn this stuff off?
Thank you, everyone, for listening. We hope that we gave you all the Halloween vibes possible because we gave them to ourselves.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for another episode of my favorite episode of. All right, tell us the ghost story.
This has been My Favorite Episode Of. My Favorite Episode Of is produced by Matt Kelly as part of the Geekscape Network and hosted by Julie and Kathleen. Check out our show notes for all of our socials and email us at myfavoriteepisodepodcast@gmail.com. Rate, review, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting apps, and we'll be back next week with another episode of My Favorite Episode Of.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network. You're listening to the Geekscape Network.